Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year. Welcome to the Alaska Super Speedway, where tonight we are getting ready on this Christmas Adam night, December 23rd, 2021, for the Christmas 300. Yes, we're back with the tradition. And, man, I'm telling you what, this kind of pattern that we're doing here with 2017 being the Cup cars from the 90s, 2018 being the Busch cars from the 90s, 2019 being the Cup cars from 2002, last year being a mix of, being the Cup 90 mod with the Xfinity schemes from 2013 to 2020 mixed in there last year. This year it's Cup cars from 1999. Man, this is going to be very fun. Been doing some testing, and these drivers are really excited to get on this racetrack, but also very nervous at the same time. What are their cars going to do as they go into turn number one? How slick and slippery, well, more so really, how slippery is this racetrack going to be? Since we are racing in 2-degree weather, it is going to be pretty expected that we will see a lot of slipping and sliding all throughout these corners, and especially in corner exit off turn number 4 especially. We've seen that in the past where drivers will just slide off the track and hit the wall and eventually just go airborne. So we're about to find out, to see what happens here in tonight's race. And as you see on the front row, you got the number 12 Mobile 1 Ford Taurus. That is Logan Alexander, lined up alongside the number 18 Interstate Batteries Pontiac of Brad Crawford. Well, folks, I don't think I need to say more, so why don't I go ahead and let the drivers do the talking here on the racetrack. The drivers are strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up, but in order to get these 42 behemoths rolling off, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines are fired, the pace car is rolling off, and so are these 42 competitors. And as they roll out for their lone pace lap, here's your starting lineup for the 2021 Christmas 300. These drivers are going to be wasting no time. They come off of turn number 4. Right behind the trees, you see the pace car is dipping down onto pit road right now. And it'll be the number 12 of Logan Alexander, Brad Crawford, leading them to the green here in the 2021 Christmas 300. There's the green flag. Logan Alexander with a really good start jumps out in front. Now the 22 of Jordan Watt moves up into the second position. Here comes the 3 of Carl Hopper down on the bottom. All ramping up to speeds of 250 miles an hour. Here they come off turn 4. Let's see what the battle's going to look like. Looks like they're 3 wide, now 4 wide coming to the line. The 12 of Logan Alexander leads lap 1. Now Hopper's going to have the run down to the inside, and they are 3 wide. And they were 4 wide also on the front straightaway, but they're mainly sticking with 3 wide here. Here comes Chase Pinero in the 20. Down on the inside of that Home Depot Pontiac, taking it into turn number 3. Right underneath the number 36 of Cole Raymond. And now trying to get 2 birds with 1 stone. She goes to the bottom and takes away the... Oh no! Crash! Oh my gosh! 3 cars just hit the wall. That's Elijah going in the 4. The 5 of Terry Walker upside down. There was the 10 of Carter Joey who also went into the wall. Caution on the speedway. This all happened on lap number 2. Man, that just took an abrupt turn. Elijah Gordon in the 4, all torn up early, and he's going to be done early tonight. Man, that's just a tough break. Tough break for drivers like Elijah Gordon, Terry Walker, and even the 10 machine of Carter Joey. Man, these drivers These drivers had a lot of high hopes coming into this race, but unfortunately all 3 of them are going to be done early here tonight at the Alaska Superspeedway. Oh man, got to catch my breath there. They actually started off really strong. Managed to make it a lap with the amount of racing that they were doing with 3 and 4 wide, but eventually the luck was just going to run out, whether it be sooner or later, and it ran out really quickly. But man, unfortunately, it's going to take out 3 cars, and so just going to have to wait and see what happens here. But on this next restart, but until we get there, Chase Pinero is the race leader right now. Let's go back and see what happened that caused our first caution of the night here in Alaska. So this is from an aerial view right here. They were 5 wide coming off of turn at number 4, and you're going to see here the 10 gets into the 5, then gets into the 4. They just hit that wall so abruptly. My gosh, look at the 4 of Elijah Gordon just spin right towards the pit official, nearly taking him out. And you see here the 5 of Terry Walker just goes tumbling side over side, end over end. Let's follow with the 10 of Carter Joey. He ended up spinning down pit road. He spun all the way. He basically had the brakes locked and he slid all the way through pit road. All the way through pit road. Very impressive though, but still, that doesn't fix the fact that unfortunately he is most likely going to be out of this race. But you see in the background there's the 4 of Elijah Gordon. Heavy damage to his Dana machine, and then the 5 of Terry Walker slides to a stop on his roof. Starting off with the number 10 of Carter Joey. Remember, he was right in the middle of all of this. Man, he narrowly missed the end of that pit wall. Then he just hit the inside wall of pit road and just slid for quite a ways. And now let me tell you something. Had that flag stand not been tangible, had he not gone through it, rather, then that flag stand would have come down, and Larry, who's waving the flag right there, he definitely would have seen better days and probably would have ended up in the hospital for it. But thank goodness, though, this is just a video game. Here's the onboard again, and you look at the 5 of Terry Walker. Squirrely, sideways, trying to do everything he can to maintain control of his car. He comes up, gets the 10. They both come down, and then let's slow it down even more. They come down into the path of Elijah Gordon. There goes Carter Joey, just barely missing the pit wall, but right here, the 5 just flies up into the air and tumbles in front of the field, while the 4 of Elijah Gordon gets shot to the right, or in this case, he got shot to the left of the pit wall and narrowly missed the pit official. My goodness gracious! Let's take one more on board. This time with the number 5 of Terry Walker. So I'll even say this one more thing before we get there. If you used up one of your barf bags, you might as well go ahead and get 2. We're taking the visor cam of Terry Walker this time. Just look at this is exactly what Terry Walker was seeing. Man. Thank goodness this is just a video game, but my gosh, man. I don't care. I don't care if it's a video game or not. That was a very wild ride. And unfortunately, this wild ride amongst all 3 drivers is going to take him out. Then again, when I really think about Carter Joey's chances, he might be able to get back out onto the racetrack. You never know. But, man, so it's just a tough break for these drivers early on here in this race. And if I'm not mistaken, Chase Pinero is leading the way. So why don't we go ahead and rejoin the field for the restart here in the 2021 Christmas 300. One lap and we will be back to green flag racing here at the Alaska Superspeedway. Here's a look at your top 10 before they come back around to get the green flag on to start lap number 7. It is Chase Pinero who is leading the charge early in the race. Running second is Carl Hopper in the 3. Then the 41 of Val Moscow sits in third. The 6 of Wyatt Walker is in fourth. The 2 of Allie Rain in fifth. 36, that's Cole Raymond sitting in the 6th position. Running 7th is Derek Hamill in the 75. 8th is the 71 of Noah Clifton. 9th is the number 9 of Mitchell Collins. And rounding out your top 10 is the 94 of Madison Tull. Let's take a look and see here. And from the looks of things, I believe, as far as what I said about, not Owen Miles, sorry, Carter Joey coming back out onto the racetrack, I am definitely going to have to, unfortunately, correct myself. That damage was enough to, unfortunately, knock him out of the race, along with the other 2 drivers of Elijah Gordon and Terry Walker. Here they come off of turn number 4. Let's see how they do on a single file restart. As we restart on lap number 7, Chase Pinero is your race leader. Pinero gets a really good jump, but you're seeing all these other drivers start to file out. Wyatt Walker was the first one to peel to the outside up in the front. And now here comes Val Moscow and the 41 to the inside. See the 75 of Derek Hamill making a move, and now they're starting to get double file as Chase Pinero breaks away. Pinero right now is the lone driver out front. No traffic around her for the moment. But now Wyatt Walker's going to make it 3 wide for second. Here they come off turn number 4. It's going to be 4 abreast coming to the line. And just to check to make sure, looks like we're going to make it through this lap okay. But they are getting really racy up here at the front of the field. Moscow to the inside. Derek Hamill's going to follow. And here comes the 9 of Mitchell Collins in the WCW machine. Look at Jordan Watt in the 22, going to try to make it 3 wide for second. He might try to get 2 birds with 1 stone if he gets a good enough run. These corners are not just banked high enough, but these corners are just sharp enough to where you can make passes like these as they come off turn number 4 once again. 1 car coming to pit road, 2 cars coming to pit road. Reggie Fogelman in the 31 and Braden Perez in the 21, all on pit road. Very unscheduled stops by those 2 drivers, though, but still up at the front. Collins and Watt battling it out. Now here comes the 66 of Beverly Creed, along with the number 11, Will Parrish, up here at the front of the field. I'm still very rusty at commentating, guys. You might as well just have to keep up with me here. Man, those drivers are really sliding off the banks here, man, pretty aggressively. They slide off of turn number 4 very aggressively. It's almost to the point to where one of these guys are just going to end up slipping up, and they're going to get into that outside wall. Man, Fogelman just came up onto the field, and now they're going to stack it up. They are stacking it up. Was that the 16? That was the 16 of Foster Henderson. He got off the track right into those flags up on the backstretch. Great save. We stayed green, but for how much longer, though? You know a wreck is going to happen, and it's not a matter of if the wreck happens. Like I mentioned, it's a matter of when. I didn't have to say it word for word, by the way. Jordan Watt takes over the lead, and we're under caution. These drivers are slowing down. Oh, the 94 of Madison Tull. I think there was a crash. I believe there was a crash on the back straightaway. I believe there was something that I ended up missing there, but still, nonetheless, under caution for the 2nd time tonight. Jordan Watt led him back to the stripe. My goodness. Madison Tull in the 94, heavy damage to her McDonald's Ford. We'll see what happens here as these drivers are now going to come onto pit road. And it's a vast majority of these drivers coming in. I believe I did see 1 car stay out. Yep, that was the 2 cars staying out, though. I believe that might have been some good strategy on their part. Reggie Fogelman, 31, Braden Perez, 21. Both of those drivers, remember, they both came into pit. They both came into pit road, and from the looks of things, this might pay some big dividends for the both of them. As they're going to be... Oh! Wait a minute, hold on. There's some damage to the 22. There's damage to the 22 of Jordan Watt on the passenger side of his Caterpillar Pontiac. That's pretty heavy. He might have to come into pit road to get that assessed. Until he does, though, he is the race leader. So let's go back and take a look at what happened to Madison Toll that brought out caution flag number 2 in the Christmas 300. So this was on the back straightaway when they caught up with Reggie Fogelman. Everybody stacks up. Madison Toll went to the right, and this is something that I completely missed here. That's why I saw Jonathan Logan in the buoys and into the bushes. He ended up turning... Well, Toll ended up getting into the 16 of Foster Henderson, and that shot her into the trees, and I believe eventually she hits a ramp. As we're watching the silhouette here of Madison Toll's car go through the forest. Eventually she hits something. She hits a barrier. Yeah, right here. Watch this. Bam! Right into the trees. And that destroys her race car. That completely destroys the number 94 right there. She ended up hitting the trees just off the racetrack. Now just gliding across them. Oh man, that's a tough break for Madison Toll. She was doing a very fine job here in this race, but unfortunately, just some other problems that had nothing to do with her. Just none of her making, really, for that matter. Unfortunately, she might be taken out of here of the Christmas 300 just for that. You're riding with Madison Toll as we are now under our second caution of the night here at the Alaska Super Speedway. Madison Toll has a very heavy, hellacious crash, speeding into turn number 3 right through the forest. And unfortunately, this might take her out of the Christmas 300. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back for the restart after these messages. We're back here at the Alaska Super Speedway. 1 to go before we get back under the green flag to go back to racing on lap number 15 coming around this time. Jordan Watt is still going to be the race leader. However, though, Braden Perez and also Reggie Fogelman, they are on the tail end of the lead lap. They managed to complete one part of the task. That was to get back on the lead lap. Now the next challenge, they better hope and pray that another caution comes out, so that way they can get back into contention for this race win. So as they come around through turns 3 and 4 this time, there were also a few other drivers that were on pit road, and I believe they are still stuck on pit road. That is the 88. That is Jack Jerome, the 2 of Allison Rain, the 41 of Val Moscow, and the 26 of Daniel Voiles. All 4 of those drivers are still sitting on pit road as these drivers are coming around through turns 3 and 4 this time by. Reggie Fogelman is going to lead them back to the green flag. Although he is not the official race leader, he is the one that is going to be controlling the restart of this race, as they are going to be 6 laps from halfway. Look at the 21 of Braden Perez jumping to the outside. Not exactly what you should be doing here if you two are going to be working together to get back into contention for the race win. This is going to hurt them a little bit here. Jordan Watt trying to do everything he can to get by the 31 of Reggie Fogelman, as they now start to fan out down the back straightaway. Now this is going to give the lead to the 66 of Beverly Creed up on the high side. Here they come off turn number 4. Let's see what happens. Drivers are getting them really slick coming off that 4th corner, and they are 4 wide, 4 abreast. Going into turn number 1, look at the 90. Car number 90, that's Sam and Oskin coming into this frame, coming into play here. As Cole Raymond, excuse me, I'm getting names mixed up real bad. Raymond goes to the point. And here comes the 42 of Chris Reynolds down to the inside. Addison Jarrell the 2021 Archon Pepsi Amateur Series champion, up inside of the top 5 as we are closing in on halfway. Look at Trey Smith. It's number 1. Now starting to make some noise. Trying to make it 3 wide for the lead. He does exactly that. He's going to have the advantage coming off the corner. New leader, Trey Smith, in that number 1 machine as they hit the back straightaway right up the hills. Back into turn number 3. At 250 miles an hour. Look at Reynolds to the inside. Here comes the 93. That's James Brown. Car number 93, James Brown, coming in. Inside of the top 5, there's Matt Tuck in the 33. Now trapped in the middle line. Whoa, something happened to Derek Hamill. He had to check up. He got way out of the gas, and that stacked a lot of people up on the outside. As they come down the back straightaway, 250 miles an hour. We might have ourselves a battle for the first place on our hands here in just a little bit. Reynolds holds on to it. Clifton on the bottom, digging in that number 71 as they come off of turn number 4. Man, they're getting awfully close. They are getting awfully close. The 2 cars, well, half of the drivers that are, well, 3 of them, I think all 4 of them are back on track now. There's the 41 of Moscow. He's back out. Same for Jerome and Allison Rain. Those 2 drivers are back out. The only other one that I haven't seen on track just yet is the 26 of Daniel Voiles. I believe he might have taken his car back behind the wall. Some sort of mechanical failure on that number 26. But Reynolds still holds on to the lead. Here comes the 77 of Quentin Moore to the inside. Sliding up off the corner right there. There's our pole sitter, Logan Alexander. Trapped all the way back in 32nd position. Lost the draft on the tail end of the lead lap, but still going strong right now. First place being contested here up at the front. Clifton and Reynolds. Down into turn number 3. Looks like Clifton is going to get the advantage because the bottom is the shortest way around. And I believe we're 3 wide, maybe 4 abreast here for the 4th spot. Yes, 3 wide for 4th place, not anymore. Man, these drivers are getting pretty racy. Reynolds is going to retain the lead as we are past halfway. Look at the 23. That's Braden Lane. Braden Lane and that number 23 is now coming up into the mix. As he moves up into 3rd, how long he's going to keep 3rd? Not for much longer. There's Bethany Motorcris in the 17. Coming up towards the front of the field, inside of the top 10. Now he's got a 4 teammate to draft with. That's the number 6 of Wyatt Walker. And here they go. Are they going to work together here? Motorcris and the 6 of Wyatt Walker. Walker kind of poking the nose out just a little bit, but it's going to stay tucked right back in behind the 17, and now the 1 of Trey Smith as he goes to the bottom and takes the lead away from Noah Clifton. So Trey Smith goes back to the point. Now here comes, oh man, Motorcris to the inside, trying to make something happen down there on the bottom. She's getting help from Wyatt Walker, and I believe Motorcris led that lap. Yes, she did. Now Braden Perez, remember, he is not on the lead lap. He is a lap down, trying to get back on the lead lap and hope and pray that he can stay there and have a caution come out here. We're on the back straightaway. These drivers are going way down to the inside of the back straightaway, back into turn number 3. All these drivers are wanting the bottom, and they're wanting it really bad. As we take a scroll through the field, looks like everybody is still clean and green, but for how much longer here? The 18, Brad Crawford. Remember, he sat on the outside pole for this race. He is now back in front of the field. Here comes Beverly Creed. Back up into 2nd. Reynolds holding on to 3rd. Then it's 3 wide. Even though the side-by-side is for the 4th spot. Trey Smith now going up the outside for 5th on Braden Lane. Will Parrish is now up here. Well, still back up here inside of the top 10. And they are getting really racy up here in this field. There's our last year's winner, Stephen Colon, just barely outside of the top 10. Haven't really talked a lot about him here in this race, and he's trying to do everything he can to get up there and make some noise, but I think he might have to depend on pit stops. That's what won him last year's race. He was in the right place at the right time, managed to get the lead away from, I believe that was Adam Garcia, who drove the 22 last year and took off with the victory. And the cool part about it was, I believe, Adam Garcia, as Reggie Fogelman is back on pit road. I believe the 21 may be back in the pits as well here. Perez may be back in the pits soon, but still, either way, the cool part about Adam Garcia from last year was he was involved in a crash. He didn't get a whole lot of damage, but it was not enough to keep him down. Managed to come back and just barely, just almost won the race. He finished second, tried to get a run on Stephen Colon last year, but Colon just had the better car and had the better run. Meanwhile, focusing back up here, 14 laps to go. There's Cody McGorrick in the 55. He just led that lap. Matt Tuck now starting to slip back in the 33. Sam Oskin going underneath of McGorrick. As Trey Smith, man, that car has just been really strong, sliding squirrely all over the place on that back straightaway as they head uphill back into turn number 3. The 1 and the 90, first and second. Here comes Derek Hamill to the inside for second position. And here we go. Pit stops are taking place. Be careful. Brad Crawford leads them in. There's Foster Henderson. There's Carl Hopper in the 3. Stephen Colon. Noah Clifton. Braden Lane. The 40 of Reagan Whitlock making contact with the 71. Also the 8 machine. That is Ryan Durrani. The 25. Owen Miles is in with a little bit of a buckle on his hood. Not too bad there. And there's Nathan Stapleton in the 97. Let's see who's going to come in here amongst the second group of drivers. As they come off of the 4th corner, here they come. Trey Smith leads them in, making more contact. The 66 of Beverly Creed squeezes the 43. What in the world is this? Excuse me? How are you making... How? What in the world was this? What did I just see? The 43 of Landon Smith Jr. was squeezed into his pit box by the 66 of Beverly Creed. Look at the 66. Has no left front tire on it whatsoever. And Beverly Creed, who had been strong all night long, unfortunately is not going to be in contention for this race. For the race win, really, rather, but still. According to scoring, the 44 of RJ Rosario, I might have mispronounced that name, the last name, but still, Rosario right now is being scored as the leader. He's on pit road right now, and Derek Hamill's going to pass right on by him, so put Derek Hamill in first place. But remember, I believe the leader might be the 55 of Cody McGorrick. He's already back up to speed under full power as he blasted right by Bethany Motorcross. And Derek Hamill's also back up to full power as well. But look at McGorrick powering around Hamill on the outside. New leader, the 55 of Cody McGorrick. Coming to 10 laps to go. There's actually a really good chance here that we're going to see our 5th different winner here in the Christmas 300. If you remember 2017, it was Jeremy Jones who went on to win. That was when we raced at Daytona in the snow. Then 2018, it was Barry Stremming who managed to win it on a one-lap shootout. 2019, it was Cody Smart, won it on fuel mileage. Last year, it was Stephen Colon, managed to win it on a last lap pass just shortly after pit stops. This year, what are we going to see? Two drivers have managed to pull away from the rest of the field here. And it might come down to Derek Hamill and Cody McGork. This is veteran versus rookie right here. Hamill the veteran, and the rookie being Cody McGork. Here comes Hamill to the inside as they go into turn 3, going into turn 4 now. And I do have somewhat of a sneaking suspicion that this field right here, now being led by Bethany Motorcris, is slowly starting to reel them in. Yes. Reel them in just by 2/10 right there. New leader, Derek Hamill in the 75, goes to the point with 8 laps to go. This is going to be a very interesting battle to the finish. McGork crosses him over as they go into turn 3. All this is doing is this is allowing this group right here to catch up to the other two. Man, is this pack going to eat McGork and Hamill up for lunch? They've caught him, and here comes Bethany Motorcris to the inside. We've never had a female winner in this race. Never. We could have it tonight. As Motorcris dives low to the inside. 6 to go when they come back to the stripe. Getting 2 birds with 1 stone. Hamill was one, McGork is the other. Can she do it with no help, though? All that drafting help is up on the top side. And they're just going to leave her hung out to dry, but don't count her out yet. She's going to be fighting back as they head back into turn 1. She will be fighting hard to get back in. Well, now she gets back in line behind Derek Hamill, slips into 3rd. But don't count her out. She's not going to be there for long. She will not be in that 3rd spot for long. Now looks low as they go into turn number 3. Looking low on Derek Hamill. Trying to make something happen. McGork is pulling away just by a little bit. Just by a little bit. Not a whole lot. And now they're coming up to the 28 of Addison Jarrell. She is just on the tail end of the lead lap, I would believe. And she is back in 30th place. Now she's going to, from the looks of things, go a lap down. Jarrell goes to the bottom. And that's going to allow the 2 other drivers up on the top to get around. Oh, man, look at the 24. 24, John Andrews. We haven't talked about John Andrews at all in this race. And now here he is, up inside of the top 5, looking to make something happen, looking to try to take that DuPont Chevy to victory lane. Here we come to 4 to go. He's got to get past 5 more cars if he wants to take that car to victory lane. If memory serves me correct, as far as the numbers that have gone to victory lane here in this race, 88, 64, 2, and 7. Those 4 numbers have gone to victory lane here in this race. We could see something else here as we come to 3 to go. Man, Carl Hopper really popped it sideways as they came off that corner. Keeps it straight. And it looks like he might hang on for a 7th place finish. And I believe Nathan Stapleton, who is slowly losing the draft, still, you got to give him props. Looks like he may come home inside of the top 10. Here they come to 2 to go this time. And McGork is holding off all comers as they go into turn 3 once again. Motorcris tried to take a peek to the outside, but that outside line does not have a good enough run whatsoever. And here they come to 2 laps to go in the 2021 Christmas 300. Look at him, 3 wide for 3rd. Motorcris, I believe, held on by just, oh no, actually, it was the 24 that nipped him at the line. Will Parrish moves into 3rd with 2 to go as they come to the white flag. This time around, McGork could very well hold on to get the Christmas 300 win in his debut race. They come around through turn number 4 this time. They're going to see the white flag Cody McGork leads it. Will he be leading coming back to the checkered flag? We're just going to have to find that out. Salmon Oskin looking low. He's got the nose peeked out on that number 90 machine. Still staying behind the 55 of McGork as they come down the back straightaway one final time. Up the hills one last time. Is Oskin gonna make a move? There he is. There he goes. He looks low. He's looking low. Side by side for the lead as they come off of turn number 4. Get out your cameras. Side by side of the line. Salmon Oskin wins it on the last lap pass. Salmon Oskin makes it 5 different winners in a row and does it on a last lap pass. Man. And if I'm not mistaken, Salmon Oskin only led 1 lap. Only 1 lap. And it was the most important one. The last lap. Cody McGork, you got to give props to him. He did everything he could to hold on to the race lead and possibly win the race in his debut, but still, runner-up finish. That kid's going to have a lot of people talking about him right now. After that stellar performance. Well, you see the top 10 right there. Salmon Oskin, the winner of the 2021 Christmas 300, finishing. Oh, well, I guess that finishes off Beverly Creed there in the background. She got hit by Addison Jarrell. But still, she's going to be spawning on pit road for a while. Still, Cody McGork finishing in 2nd. Trey Smith 3rd. Finishing in the 4th spot was the 93 of James Brown. Rounding out the top 5, that was Will Parrish. 6th was John Andrews. 7th was the 3 of Carl Hopper. 8th was the 75 of Derek Hamill. 9th, Bethany Motorcris. And Nathan Stapleton completing the top 10. Man, oh man. What a race. As you see, man, I can't speak. As you see positions 11th through 42nd. This actually was a pretty aggressive race, I'd say, man. I mean, 5 races, as I mentioned, 5 different winners. And man, I really don't know what to say, but still, man, saw some really good, crazy racing on top of that. Pit strategy did come into play a little bit, but at the end of the day, it came down to a last lap pass that, from the looks of things, was timed actually quite perfectly for a driver like Salmon Oskin, who pulls away with the victory here in this race. And that pretty much is going to do it from here at the Alaska Super Speedway. I want to thank you guys a lot for watching the 2021 Christmas 300. One more time, congratulations to Salmon Oskin on the victory. If you like this, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you later.